Before we dive in, I'm excited to share with you about our upcoming mini course on classifiers. This 3-hour course, led by Darla and myself, will take place on March 1st. In this session, you'll learn what classifiers are, why they're essential to ASL, and how to use the most common classifiers in your conversations. Seats are limited, so enroll today with the link in the description. Now to the video. Hey signers. Did you know that ASL might look different in a classroom compared to a casual conversation? Textbook ASL is like writing a formal essay, structured and clear, while casual ASL feels more like texting with shortcuts and a natural flow. You might be thinking, wait, isn't most of what you're teaching like textbook ASL? You'd be right. That's because having a solid foundation in ASL based on clarity, structure, and rules is essential. It gives you tools to communicate effectively and adapt to real-world conversations. Plus, I always make sure to teach you signs that are widely used today, so you're ready for any interaction. The difference isn't what you sign, but how you sign it. You'll see what I mean. Ready to have a better understanding of the whole spectrum of sign language? Let's learn how to sign. First, let's look at sentence structure. To better understand the differences between textbook ASL and casual ASL, let's think about the difference between writing an essay and texting a friend. Essays are structured, polished, and follow a set of rules to ensure clarity and formality. Every sentence has its place, and you never leave out important details. On the other hand, texting is fast, efficient, and sometimes skips over full words or punctuations altogether. We even might use abbreviations or emojis to get our point across quickly. Both serve a purpose, but they feel different and they work differently. So what does this look like in regards to signing? Textbook ASL is like writing an essay. It's deliberate, clear, and follows established grammar rules like topic comment structure. Casual ASL, on the other hand, is more like texting. It's quicker, more flexible, and sometimes skips over the formalities, relying on context and shared understanding to keep the conversation flowing. So many factors influence when, where, and why you see variations in ASL. Imagine a silent chat where deaf, hard of hearing, and hearing individuals all come together to sign. You might meet someone from a generationally deaf family, another person who grew up oral and learned ASL later in life, and a hearing family learning ASL for their deaf child. Each of these individuals brings their unique experiences with ASL, shaping how they sign. These diverse backgrounds create a spectrum of signing. In these interactions, the ultimate goal is to be understood, which makes grammatical rules more flexible and adaptable to the situation. So let's look at some examples of this comparison. Let's take the English phrase, I am going to the coffee shop after work. So in ASL, that topic comment structure, we would sign work, finish, coffee shop, I go. Then over here is PSE, Pigeon Sign English, which is the English structure that you might see. I go, coffee shop, finish work. And many times the context is already there, and so it might just be coffee shop, go. Just the quickest way to get the point across. Now let's look at a question. What about, where is your mom? In ASL, your mom, where? But in PSE, where your mom? And shorthand, mom where? Notice the WH words were moved. ASL puts the WH word at the end. PSE follows that English structure. Let's look at another phrase, including time. We will meet at 7 o'clock. ASL puts time at the beginning. 7 o'clock, two of us meet. But in PSE, two of us meet 7. It wouldn't be uncommon for you to see 7 meet. ASL requires the time to be at the beginning. Here you can see the differences between ASL structure and the lean toward PSE, which aligns more with English structure. These examples illustrate how ASL uses topic comment structure, omits articles and auxiliary verbs, and relies on facial expression and context, while PSE tends to follow English word order with more ASL influence. These are just two examples of the signing structures that you might see out there in the real world. Remember, there's a whole spectrum. Now let's take a look at how signs can be produced more casually in everyday conversation. A great example is the sign no. In textbook ASL, you're taught to tap right here on the forehead. It's a deliberate motion to represent knowledge in your brain. This placement makes sense because it aligns with the concept of thinking or knowing. However, in casual ASL, you might see this, where it taps down on your face right here on your cheek. This adjustment makes movement smaller and quicker, which is perfect for a faster paced conversation. It's still clear and easily understood in context, but less formal. This kind of simplification is common in casual signing, especially when speed and efficiency are key. Why does this happen? It's all about natural flow. When you're chatting with somebody, especially in a relaxed, familiar setting, you're not aiming for precision you'd use in a classroom or formal presentation. Instead, you're prioritizing ease and comfort, just like contractions or slang in spoken English. For instance, when I'm sitting at a table with a friend, my signs are going to be smaller, but when I'm interpreting in church, my signs are going to be bigger. The key is context. Casual variations like this rely on the fact that the person you're signing with understands what you mean, even if the movement is slightly different. It's important to build a strong foundation in ASL before diving into more casual signing. Here are some other signs with more casual variations. The sign understand, you'll see it down here. 4-4, 4-4. Student, student. Teach, teach. Teacher, teacher. Have, have. Notice all of them fit inside my smaller signing space. Just like in texting, where we often see acronyms like LOL and BRB to save time, casual ASL fingerspelling can involve simplifying or even omitting letters to get the conversation flowing, like fingerspelling the name Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. But if we make it more casual, notice my N is flat out versus down. It makes it move smoother and faster. Or take the word ibuprofen. If I'm fingerspelling it to them and then they understand halfway through, I'm going to finish it off really sloppy. You might see the speed pick up or even those letters deleted. This isn't about being sloppy. It's about efficiency. In fast-paced or casual conversations, these shortcuts help keep things moving naturally, much like abbreviations in texting. Just like you wouldn't ever write laughing out loud in a conversation, that's why we put LOL. You don't need to fingerspell every letter in a casual conversation. Of course, it's important to remember that clarity comes first. These shortcuts work best when the person you're signing with is familiar with the context, the word, and even you. If there's any chance of confusion, it's always a good idea to spell things out more completely. So why even learn ASL structure if casual ASL is used? It's important to build a strong foundation in ASL before diving into more casual signing. Think about how you learned English in grade school. You started off with grammar rules, sentence structure, and spelling. All those fundamentals that gave you the tools to communicate effectively. You've got to know the rule to know the exception to that rule. ASL works the same way. Learning the textbook structure and grammar of ASL gives you the knowledge and confidence to adapt your signing style later on. You can simplify, shorten, or rearrange signs in a casual setting, knowing that you're still respecting the language's foundation. Without that base, it's easy to fall into habits that might make your signing unclear. Honestly, the best way to learn to sign casually is to become so comfortable with the language and the people that you share it with that you all together pick up on each other's ASL shortcuts and styles. You'll develop your ASL quirks and personality as you practice them in the real world. If you want to become more comfortable with the language of ASL, check the link in the description to learn more about Learn How to Sign Accelerated, where you'll find ASL courses and a community of signers just like you. Until next time, keep learning how to sign.